Today we've got a big update in the world of Stranger Things for Season 5. It's just been revealed that the entirety of Volume 1 has been completed. That's right, they are 100% done editing, scoring, and finalizing the first 4 full episodes of Season 5. The Crawl, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler most likely, The Turnbow Trap, and The Sorcerer are all completely ready to watch right now. That's crazy! Last season they were still editing the last 2 episodes after Volume 1 had dropped. So to go from that to having all of Volume 1 finished a full 3 months ahead of release is insane. At this rate, they could prep everything early enough for a theater release if they wanted to. The great news is, with the first half of the episodes done, they are now moving on to the final 4 episodes of the entire series. And episode 4, which they just finalized, will be the first of 3 finales with this season. On November 26th, the day before Thanksgiving, the first 4 episodes will drop, with the 4th episode having the first massive finale before moving on to the second half of the show. A full month later, on December 25th, on Christmas Day, the next 3 episodes will come out, with episode 7, The Bridge, being the next big finale with a cliffhanger. And then a couple days later, we will get the actual finale to the entire show to start off the new year. This is gonna be such a crazy holiday season this year. I can't believe they're dropping it on Christmas Day. We've got Netflix's big Geeked Week event hopefully coming up soon, and we are inching so much closer to the promotional phase for Season 5. There's been some suspicious activity on the Stranger Things Instagram account recently, so I would stay on the lookout for some new looks at Season 5 soon. Make sure you stay subscribed because we are going to be breaking down everything together, especially starting with the finalization of episodes 1 through 4. This is so crazy that the entirety of Volume 1 is completely done so far ahead of the release date. The Duffer Brothers are known for coming down to the wire and spending all of their time until the very last minute making changes before revealing the episodes to the public. With this update, we're going to break down everything we know about episodes 3 and 4 and talk about moving on to the second half of the final season. Episode 3, The Turnbow Trap, has special guest director Frank Darabont literally coming out of his retirement as a favor to the Duffers who grew up idolizing him and all of his work just to direct this episode, as well as Shock Jock, episode 5, which is the first episode of Volume 2. Frank Darabont is an acclaimed director, doing everything from Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, some of Nightmare on Elm Street, The Blob, King Kong, Season 1 of The Walking Dead, so many classics. It's such an honor to see him take the reins of 2 episodes in the Stranger Things universe now. This is definitely the show's biggest guest director, and it's so cool to see the Duffer Brothers get to use their passion project to connect them with all the people that they grew up watching their movies. It's so crazy Darabont is literally coming out of retirement just for us. The first episode he's doing, The Turnbow Trap, will most likely be the episode that really focuses on Derek Turnbow and his family, who own a large real estate company in Hawkins. It seems like Vecna will be coming after all the kids in town this season, including Derek. We see Erica and the gang go to the Turnbow's house. Here's Caleb with Darabont in the actual house. I think before the gang shows up, it'll just be Erica here at the dinner table eating with Derek and his family, and then we see her possibly use this syringe to knock out Derek or maybe even his parents. And then we see the gang use this chainsaw here in the background of the garage in this photo to cut a hole in their living room floor, it looks like. It seems like the angle of this camera is inside the floor, and this hole might just lead to the abandoned underground tunnel system from Season 2 that's underneath all of Hawkins. This is the same tunnel system we see the kids and Steve running through when they find Dart, and the same one that Hopper gets stuck in. It's so crazy because since Season 4, the Duffer Brothers have been telling us, all of us, to go rewatch Season 2 before Season 5. Like the elements from it will come back and be important this season. I wonder if this especially is a refresher for the tunnel system, because these would literally create a safe passageway from a bunch of major locations all around town. Or at least at once it might have been safe. It seems like something will be chasing Lucas and these kids through the tunnels, and it seems to catch up to Lucas here, who already has a concerning amount of blood all over him. It's cool to see that these are now all dead and dried up from last time we saw them when they were wet and filled with upside-down overgrowth and airborne spores. And since 11 closed the gate at the end of Season 2, they've been cut off from the Upside Down, causing them to turn back to Earth, it looks like. There's a really good chance that they used these tunnels to get to the barn safe house we see all the characters in, especially Erica and Derek, where we see Joyce protecting them with that axe while a Demogorgon bursts through the doors. This is all just so crazy and will most likely take place during episode 3. We also see a fallen billboard of the Turnbow Real Estate Company in the Upside Down that Hopper and Elle hide behind. This means that the Turnbows have been here in Hawkins since Season 1 when Will was taken. And if you remember, at the end of Season 4's Volume 1, they did this huge build buildup to a showdown between number 1 and 11, revealing him to also be Henry Creel / Vecna. Now, this was undoubtedly a mini finale to end the first 7 episodes on before giving us a month to think about what just happened before releasing the final 2 episodes as Volume 2. It's safe to assume that they will do the exact same thing with this season, and just like last time, they will build up in these first couple episodes to a mini finale at the end of Volume 1. This will take place at the end of Episode 4, The Sorcerer. Now, for a long time, the Duffers have been promising the fans that Season 5 is going to be the season of Will, and that he will be very important to the final season and to the end of the show. And with an episode titled The Sorcerer, I can't help but think this might be referring to Will. But from the very start of the show, Will has always been established as the party's wizard. In the first episode we see this. But in Season 2, he actually changes roles, and is the only party member to ever do this. In Season 2, Mike says that Will is a cleric now.
I'm our paladin, Will's our cleric, Dustin's our bard, Lucas is our ranger, and Elle's our mage.
And we know that he changes back in Season 3 to being a wizard, Will the Wise, but just what if he changes one more time in Season 5 and becomes a sorcerer? What if this change comes from an upgrade in his powers? We've known since Season 2 about his true sight powers the Mind Flare gave him when it infested him with the slug that becomes Dart. This made him part of the hive mind and gave him the ability to see into both dimensions. And we also know that through Season 4, he can still feel Vecna's presence, and that Vecna is feeling hurt after he crashed out of the attic. And with Season 5, it seems like Vecna will 100% be targeting Will. We can see this echoed throughout all of the promotional material already. The neck tingle, the eyes rolled back into his head twitching, the passing out on the floor, the screaming bloody murder. Whatever this is, he's trapped by Vecna here, I'm assuming. They made a point to go back and tell us that when Henry Creel was a child, he was different from the other kids, almost trying to compare him to Will. And then you ask yourself, why did Vecna take Will all the way back in Season 1? What did he want from him? There's going to be so many similarities drawn between these two in the season, and in the end, ultimately, there will be a large difference between Will always choosing love and to be there for his friends and care about the people around him, while Vecna simply is fueled by hatred and distaste for other people and humanity and society. I think we're going to see Will play a much larger role than we think, and I wouldn't be surprised if his powers get amplified in some way or he learns how to use new ones. I mean, the sorcerer could also be referring to Elle, but I'm really hoping it's talking about Will. 11 spent a lot of time in the spotlight going against Vecna last season, and Will has been sidelined so hard the last 2 seasons, I just want to see him be important again. And like we were saying earlier, with Season 4 having the first mini finale of the season before the month break, I wouldn't be surprised if this scene that was the finale of the teaser, the entire time it's building up hype to Vecna's return in the center of town, and this specific moment with Joyce, Mike, and no doubt Will right outside the portal, and then Vecna himself walks through, and then we get this cool fireball shot. It would be pretty crazy to have to wait 4 episodes before revealing Vecna's new look, but you never know. In an earlier post, Ross Duffer mentioned that almost every shot from the teaser was from the first 4 episodes, and with this scene being the biggest build-up / finale of the teaser, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the moment that the entire first 4 episodes lead up to. I am so excited. And in his most recent post, he said that Episode 4 is massive, as big as any finale that they've ever done before, and it was the most logistically insane shoot of their lives, and that they're still recovering from it. I really hope for the life of me that he is talking about the massive Demogorgon outbreak in Hawkins. I hope this is where all the military and all the Demogorgons have a large-scale showdown, and then Vecna walks out and goes face-to-face with Will and hopefully some new powers. I think for the most part, they've stuck to using a somewhat small cast, nothing with too many actors in the spotlight fighting. The most was probably the Russians versus the Demogorgon in Season 4, and that was pretty contained. I'm hoping they go bigger than they ever have before with this season, and specifically with the Upside Down spilling monsters into Hawkins and the military base. I hope it is complete carnage. Choreographing something on this scale with so many stunt actors and CG creatures running around could be something really challenging, since it would be even bigger than the Demogorgon scenes in Season 4. Plus, if we look back at the behind the scenes video Ross shared a while back, we can see that this not only is downtown Hawkins, but this is inside the military compound. This multi-story structure with the stairs is the same one we see on the left side of the portal on the library building. We can see a bunch of military soldiers walking around, and there's also these massive cranes with light boxes in the sky simulating lightning, which usually means the Upside Down. down. There's these massive 70-foot tall blue screen walls that just surround the entire military compound. And if you look in the background, you can see this giant LED wall emitting flashing bright orange light, which is the color of fire, and I would think is very close to what a giant fireball might emit, which we literally see at the end of the teaser. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the finale of the Sorcerer. This is what was so logistically challenging that Ross was talking about. I mean, look at this, it looks insane. And then he also shared a video of another one of the title screens. The music still sounds a little different. It still has that thumping behind it, getting closer and closer. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the banging we see throughout the teaser that eventually reveals itself to be all the Demogorgons knocking on Hawkins' front door and now bursting into it. It would be crazy if episode 4 is when we see this play out. I'm really curious to know how well the military has been holding back the Upside Down from leaking into Hawkins, if at all. Because it seems like if Vecna wanted to, he could return at any time. It seems like ever since Nancy sent him hurling out of the Creel attic on fire, he must have been recovering over the last year. Because no doubt the attack inside the Upside Down in his safe haven surprised him, and if he's smart, which he is, he's waiting and recovering and getting stronger and amassing more forces, aka Demogorgons, to attack Hawkins with. I can't wait to see the military react and try to fight back when he decides to send hordes of Demogorgons through the portal, and then we just see the Mind Flayer's head start to poke through. I mean, what are you going to do against that? All these soldiers have weapons that won't harm the Mind Flayer particles. And I don't even know if they realize that these two flamethrower troopers have the best chance of fighting back. We still don't even know what happened to Dr. Owens after they found him chained up in the underground bunker last season. So we have no idea if this military division and Dr. K knows that the Mind Flayer and Vecna's weakness is fire. Because if they did, you would think there would be more flamethrowers everywhere, not just these two. But you know what? Sometimes we have to learn things in life the hard way, and that's what I'm hoping happens in Season 5. We also have Netflix's Geeked Week to look forward to soon. Wednesday just finished, so they'll probably want to give that show a couple weeks for everyone to watch it and be excited about it before jumping right into promoting Stranger Things. They're also going to be releasing some books later this year. I think I'm going to start rewatching Season 1 soon, so stay on the lookout for rewatch videos. Tell me in the comments if you'll be rewatching the show yourselves. I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.